Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple and a Rose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to be reading for Twin Flames for the month of February 2026. Please remember we are multi-streaming, so tonight I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all at the same time. I did have a little bit of a sound issue right before we started, so I am running just a few minutes late. So my apologies. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the month of February before we jump into our collective monthly energy update. We did talk about the Leo full moon last night. If you guys missed that information, you can find it over on my YouTube channel. On Tuesday, we're going to do all of the February transits. We're going to talk about all of the astrology for the entire month. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about the collective challenges that you may experience in the month of February. Many are saying that this could be one of the more challenging months due to the many unique transits that we're experiencing. And what I mean by unique is that we have not experienced this energy in our lifetime. Many things are happening, such as Neptune moving into Aries, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in just a moment, along with Uranus stationing direct. These energies together at the same time, combined with all of Pluto in Aquarius, is all energy that, again, we've never experienced before. Thank you, Sandra. So again, February could feel like it is a more challenging month than what you have experienced previously. If you're going through spiritual awakening, I want to talk to you a little bit about empathy, because I do feel that that is what is going to make the month of February slightly more challenging for those of us that feel like we're empaths or that we're experiencing a spiritual awakening. I honestly don't know if those two go hand in hand. I feel like my empathy, my empathic abilities definitely heightened after spiritual awakening. And that a lot of the overwhelm that we're feeling right now has to do with our empathy and our empathic abilities. We are feeling the emotions of the entire world. That's why you feel tired. That's why you feel exhausted. That's why you feel like it's challenging for you to get motivated. That's why you feel like you just want to rest. Your body, your soul, all your cells are screaming at you to rest as much as possible. And that is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. I do want to talk to you about a couple of things that you can do in the month of February, again, before we get started with our collective reading, because I feel like I wish I could come out here like a lot of other people and be like, February is going to be great and, hundreds are going to rain out of the sky. That would be wonderful, but that's not a true statement, and I can't sell you bullshit, right? So I'm having a spiritual awakening, and this is how spirit helps me get through, is by creating PLR and sharing the information that I learned through my awakening with you, in hopes that it also helps you on your journey and through your awakening. So grounding is going to be very important in the month of February. We've been talking about grounding since we started PLR in 2020. I feel like a lot of us believe that grounding means to go outside and take your shoes off and run in the grass, or to go out and hug a tree. That's a really common belief, of grounding, and that is a grounding technique. Absolutely, both of those things are. I used to always talk about the one where, like, if you're sitting at a desk, because a lot of us do work in an office or work at our desk. And I know I'm at the desk a lot, so a very helpful grounding technique that I use often is I like to imagine the tree roots coming out from the bottoms of my feet and going all the way down into the center of the earth, coming back up and reconnecting to the bottoms of my feet. That's supposed to make you feel very centered and very grounded. And all of those things do work. But I do want to express what Spirit really taught me in 2025 in my spiritual awakening journey is that grounding also means that you implement and integrate the lessons that you have learned. So the information that you receive in the 5D, the downloads, the everything you learn in your spiritual awakening journey, when you use that in your everyday life, that is also grounding. And I don't think we talk about that enough. Yes, we need to hug trees. Yes, we need to take our shoes off and touch the earth. Absolutely. But we also need to actually use what we've learned in our everyday life. And that is what Spirit is telling me is going to help those of us that, again, feel like we are on this empathic roller coaster through the month of February, grounding. Okay, so if anyone has any questions about that, or you feel like you're struggling, feeling overwhelmed, please reach out to me, email me, message me. I'll gladly share some of those grounding techniques with you. And then, of course, any other service that could be helpful. Okay, I want to talk about Neptune just a little bit because Neptune is moving into Aries, and that is something that, again, once in our lifetime. The reason it's once in our lifetime is one, because it takes Neptune so long to get around. So most of us have not experienced this in our lifetime and won't experience it again. But also because it's making the transits, the aspects with Pluto and Aquarius, which is, again, once in our lifetime. We've never experienced this energy before. Neptune is the planet that rules empathy. So again, for those of us that feel like we're empathic, we feel other people's emotions, we feel the emotions of the collective. The collective readings really resonate with our journey and what we're experiencing, and inside and outside. Neptune moving into Aries is going to be one of the more challenging energies for you as we go through the month of February. Please remember, Saturn is going to be following very shortly. And that does happen in February. And when Saturn, I believe it's like the 12th, 14th, something like this. When this happens, that will help us. So about second week of February, mid-month, you'll start to feel a little bit of an ease. And then, of course, the energy will progress. As we move towards that Aries new moon, we do start to build up a lot of hope. We start to see a lot of things in our everyday physical world that will give us that hope that we need, that inspiration to push forward towards the future, right? So the first few weeks of February definitely could be very challenging. Please remember, Spirit guided me to tell you that grounding is going to be the most important technique that you can use as you move through this month. All right, guys, let's jump in. Let's get started with our collective reading. The journal I pulled out because I knew I was going to forget. Grounding techniques. So I told you a few of them already. Meditation is also a grounding technique. This is 2026. If you don't meditate anymore, you're no longer cool. If you still don't meditate, you're no longer cool. If you're like, I can't focus long enough to meditate, you're no longer cool. This is 2026. With Saturn moving into Aries, it's going to give you the discipline that you need to be able to push through those, shiny object moments. Okay. So meditation, very important. Journaling, very important. Dreams are going to be heightened at this time, especially if you have empathic abilities. You're going to be dreaming about things and you're not going to know why you're dreaming about them. They are other people's energies. They are the energies of the collective. You may not understand that when it's happening. Write your dreams down. It's going to be so important. If you guys struggle to understand what your dreams mean, you can find my guided dream journal in the links in the description box of this video. All right, let's start with the collective. I am going to read for the masculine, the feminine. I will pull bridging energy. I'll pull head, heart, and higher self for both sides, messages from each side, and of course, I'll close it out with guidance. Tonight, I've pulled out the Heal Yourself reading cards. These are my favorite to use when we're looking at the collective energies. I am going to clarify with Lou Ellen, and I did pull out Tree of Life for our guidance. Whew, that was a mouthful. Let me grab a drink and we'll get started. Sometimes I remember to ask Spirit to help me get the message out without stuttering. And Spirit does help every time I ask or remember to ask. But I always feel like I'm talking really fast so I can keep up. Does that make sense? So I can get the message out. I hope that grounding information was helpful. And I hope that we're all finding the self-discipline that we need to take care of ourselves physically and spiritually. Divine timing, welcome. All right, let's get started. Bottom of the deck, we have the healing card. It's number 21. I'm going to start with masculine energy. We have the cycles card coming out. I forgot to talk about the anxiety. Right before the live, I felt a giant wave of anxious energy. A lot of times before these lives, I get a feeling of like what the collective is feeling or dealing with. It's really interesting for me to be dealing with all the anxiety that I've been dealing with the last few weeks, because I feel like Spirit really has given me a lot of techniques to deal with anxiety, and I feel like I really had worked on that energy. Again, the empathy comes into play. When the whole world is feeling anxious, then we're going to feel anxious regardless of what tools or tricks or tips that we use in our own journey, right? And I was feeling all of it, like the shakes, the inner shakes, the shortness of breath, the heart palpitation. I mean, all the things. I know that it's the collective because I can ground myself, do some breathing practices, and within 5 to 10 minutes, that energy is gone, right? If it was me, it's like that energy definitely could take a lot more work to work through, right? Again, those techniques and grounding yourself could be very helpful as you work through the month of February. The cycles card coming out for Divine Masculine could talk about a couple of things. It could talk about the importance of closing out old chapters and not repeating cycles. I think that's going to be really prominent for the majority of the masculine energy. I do also feel that the masculine could be even grieving some past life, some past cycle, some type of past situation. There's something about the way she's kind of like looking back. All right, I'm going to pull for the feminine energy. We do have pay attention to the signs coming out. It's number 10. Pay attention to the signs is a card that I see sometimes when I'm feeling anxious or worried. I think for the feminine energy, it's definitely going to be more worry. For the masculine energy, it's more anxious energy. I think that for the feminine energy, the signs that we're seeing is helpful for building our faith. I think we're no longer scared. I don't know about you guys, but like when I first started spiritual awakening, I was scared, right? I thought I was losing my mind and I was going crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? I didn't realize that it was like the biggest, best opportunity that, was happening. It took several years for me to actually start implementing and integrating what I had learned through my awakening. I think for the feminine energy, you're becoming less scared. You're paying more attention to the synchronicities, to the signs. You're trusting your intuition, and you're understanding what it means. I will say that the pay attention to the signs in the Heal Yourself reading oracle cards, number 10 is a card that talks about fear. So I'm not saying that we're not scared. I'm not saying that we are marching through like we're Billy Badasses and we have no worries. That's not true. I'm sensing a strong energy of worry when it comes to the feminine energy, and a strong sense of anxiousness when it comes to the masculine energy. And again, I'm assuming that this is the empathic abilities that we're picking up of just the worry and anxiousness that the entire world is feeling at this time. We are looking at the month of February 2026, but I'm live streaming on January 28th, 2026. All right, let's look at the bridging energy. So remember, when Spirit helped me create the spread, the bridging energy is what we are currently, both the masculine energy and the feminine energy. It's the spiritual lesson that we're both learning at this time. So if you're wondering, am I having a spiritual awakening? Am I on a twin flame journey? Is this reading for me? This is going to be the card. Because yes, these two other cards, anxiousness and worry, I mean, who's not anxious and who's not worried right now, right? Very kind of generic type of energy, very general and broad type of energy. But if you're meant to be here, the card I'm fixing to pull next is going to be the card that tells you. So if the card doesn't resonate with you, then I'm not saying you're not having a spiritual awakening journey, but it's very possible that you're having a different type of spiritual awakening journey. Does that make sense? All right, so let's look at the collective bridging energy for the month of February. Ooh, we got procrastination, and it's number 8. Okay, so I am like, I feel famous for procrastinating. I used to say at the beginning of my awakening, I used to tell people all the time, like, I perform better under pressure. It's taken me 5 years through my awakening to realize that that's actually not true. I perform a lot better when I have ample time to get ready and feel comfortable and have all the things that I need, right? So there's going to be something that Spirit is showing us in the month of February that we have procrastinated and could definitely be causing us some challenges at this time. There's something about the clock that's sticking out to me. It looks like it is 6:41. 6:41. All right, bottom of the deck was the healing card. I'm going to clarify a little bit with Llewellyn. If you're watching live, guys, stick around. I do plan on offering some free energy readings at the end. Bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is about getting everything that you want. It's goals, accomplishing your goals. All right, let's start with the masculine energy cycles. I do feel, I want to point something else out about the cycles card. In the Heal Yourself reading oracle, the number 6 cycles card talks about how sometimes time can seem like it's going really slow because you're closing out an old cycle. It's like you're in an in-between period. Like the old is no longer there, but the new hasn't quite started. So the masculine energy could resonate with that as well. All right, let's pull some Llewellyn. We have Judgment coming out, Scorpio energy. It is about purpose, but I want to point out that he's laying down in this particular Llewellyn Judgment card. The Scorpio energy coming out really strongly right out the gate, right? But the Judgment card is about following purpose. So the Divine Masculine could feel like, I understand that I need to follow my purpose, but I'm not sure like when I'm going to have that opportunity, or when I'm supposed to do that. Or maybe it's like, I'm not sure if I'm like what steps to take. And there could be some Divine Masculines out there that are like, I'm not healed myself. So what can I teach others? And that is a common misconception. You align with people that are at your level of healing. So there's always going to be something that you have that you can offer to help someone else's healing, right? Even if it's just information about your own journey, like your own testimony, right? All right, Ten of Cups comes out. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. And then we have the Chariot. The Chariot does say there is a victory here. It does say that like the win is already yours. It's something that's like fated. It's going to happen regardless. But I do feel like for the Divine Masculine, this has something to do with not just the Ten of Cups, happy home, happy family, because we also seen Ten of Pentacles, which is like, you know, accomplishments, goals, achievements, that type of thing. So it's this energy of like, when is this going to come in for me? I feel like too, it's very possible that Divine Masculine could feel like they've already started to follow their purpose and they're waiting for some type of like alignment to come in. I will say that if that's the case, the Chariot card is going to be an indication that you have to find your own happiness. So again, strong masculine Scorpio energy. All right, let's look at the feminine side. Cancer. The Chariot is Cancer energy. All right, bottom of the deck, we have King of Wands. King of Wands is about being courageous enough to take passionate action. My ears just started ringing. All right, let's look at pay attention to the signs. We have Seven of Cups. This is about choices and options, but I think it's about seeing things clearly. Many times when we look at Seven of Cups in tarot, you see the cups with all the different choices and options, and the clouds are kind of like covering the cups, so it's hard to see what it is that you're looking at. In Llewellyn Tarot, the Seven of Cups, there's no clouds. So it's like it's really easy to see what your options are at this time. We also have Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles says it's okay to ask for help. And we have the Emperor. I want to mention too, right before the live, I did get this message to call my power back. This is something that I used to do pretty regularly, especially when I was like coming out of Dark Night of the Soul. Spirit, it's really simple. You can say it to yourself. You can say it out loud. But for me, what I say is I call all my power back to me. I am whole and complete. I call all my power back to me. I am whole and complete. I call all my power back to me. I am whole and complete. Say it as many times as you have to. When I was coming out of Dark Night of the Soul, I used to have to repeat that 100 times. 50 times, 100 times, 200 times, I don't know, a lot of times until I believed it. Now I don't need to say it as many times. It only takes a few times for me to feel that power coming back to me. Also, I think something that's really helpful is I learned about my chakras. So I learned that my solar plexus chakra, which is 2 inches above your belly button, is where we hold our personal power. There's mantras that we can do. I like to do this one right above my belly button, right there where that solar plexus chakra is. When I say I call my power back to me, I am whole and complete. This is definitely going to help the feminine, especially when you're struggling to make decisions about where to go due to like worry or fear, right? Spirit does say it's okay to ask for help. This is the prayer card. The Five of Pentacles is the prayer card. Be courageous enough to take passionate action. Divine Feminine. All right, let's look at what we're procrastinating. So I feel like for the collective, the procrastination card could throw you off. You could be like, Rosa, I've been doing my shit. Like, I've been getting up, I've been journaling, I've been trying to really stay balanced, right? Limit my inner world with the outer world type of situation, right? There's going to be something. There's going to be something that you're procrastinating, that you've swept under the rug, that you're kind of just waiting for spirit to rip that rug out, so that you can face it. Saturn moving into Aries in the month of February and Uranus going direct is going to force you to do just that, right? All right, so we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about healthy boundaries. It's about standing up for yourself, and it's also about speaking your truth. I want to point out too, it is the card that talks about empathy. You see how her hand is out, but it's not like all the way out. So the point of this demonstration, this depiction in the picture, is that she is compassionate. She does have empathy, but to a limit, the healthy boundaries, her peace is of most importance. The Knight of Wands is here, again, taking passionate action. There's some type of energy about being reckless there as well, and Nine of Swords. On the bottom, we have Page of Cups. So I asked Spirit to help me because this energy seems very, again, general and broad. Page of Cups is on the bottom. A couple of things. Page of Cups is the I'm sorry card. So the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, there could be something about apologies, forgiveness, of course. That's always, especially if you have like 3D counterpart energy, like somebody who woke you, right? Page of Cups is also a slippery situation. Like, you could be struggling to get your footing at this time. I think what we have procrastinated is the discipline that we need to not be reckless at this time. The more centered and aligned we are in our journey and our awakening, in our inner masculine and feminine energies, the less anxiety we're going to have. One of the biggest things that Spirit taught me in my spiritual awakening is it is completely impossible to have faith and anxiety at the same time. The more anxiety you have, the less faith you have. The more faith you have, the less anxiety you have. I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm going to use the Energy Oracle, and we're going to look at head, heart, and higher self. So we're looking at thoughts, feelings, and higher self lesson, specifically for the masculine energy and specifically for the feminine energy. Aries energy coming out with the Emperor, and Scorpio and Cancer with the Judgment card and the Chariot. All right. For the masculine, bottom of the deck, we do have the Action card in reverse. All right, door to personal healing and happiness comes out in the headspace. Whenever I see this card, it says something is blocking the doorway. I feel like for the Divine Masculine, it could be their own thoughts. I feel like they're in this period of limbo, this period of closing out old chapters, but the new cycle or the new life or the new them like hasn't emerged fully yet. And there's definitely something about like their belief system. All right, in the heart space, we do have community. It's number 7. This is going to be soul tribe, soul family. Remember, communication in twin flames with twin flames is through the heart space. I know a lot of people want to believe that it's the third eye. I mean, I guess that would make more sense. But it's love. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. It's through the heart space from one heart chakra to another. I do believe that we have communication here between divine feminine and divine masculine. I believe that divine feminine is sending the message of soul tribe, soul family to divine masculine. In other words, divine masculine, in other words, divine feminine is expressing to divine masculine to connect with their soul tribe, soul family. All right, higher self lesson, we have rest and rejuvenation. A big confirmation about what I talked about when I talked about the challenges that we're going to face in the month of February. I did see the action card, but again, in reverse, I do feel that Spirit is asking the masculine energy to sit. So you could feel like really anxious right now, a little stir crazy type of energy, which actually isn't like shocking. If you're anywhere in the US, it seems like we just had this huge winter storm. So many of us in many states are just sitting still. I actually got out for the first time today. First time in 5 days. Maybe 4 days. It might have been 4 days. It felt like 5 days. All right, I'm going to clarify the masculine and the feminine energy with Rider-Waite. So right here, we're looking at masculine energy, head, heart, and higher self. I'm going to use Rider-Waite for this one. I'm going to use Rider-Waite for the feminine. We're going to look to see if we see any doubles, any cards that are repeating. All right, door to personal healing and happiness is number 34 for the divine masculine in the headspace. 4 of Cups comes out. I feel like that's confirmation. There's definitely something going on in the mind that the masculine energy does not like. And I think it's the waiting, the having to be patient, the having to sit still, the having to not take action at this time. The Death card comes out, strong Scorpio energy again. So strong Scorpio energy coming out for the masculine. Can't deny that. The World card is also here. Big confirmation, closing out cycles. Closing out cycles. So divine masculine definitely unhappy about the stuck feeling, the transition feeling, feeling like they have to wait, feeling like something is blocking their doorway to personal healing and happiness. Look at this. 3 of Cups comes out to clarify the community card. The 3 of Cups is soul tribe, soul family, soul sisters, right? You see that? And look how they look the same. 3 people, 3 people. I love it. I'm trying to be like more controlled. Not controlled, but like less scattered or like less aligned. So I'm really not trying to do like the cards that fly out, right? But I will say that I kind of like it. I kind of like it when that happens, right? All right, the Sun comes out. Hope, happiness, joy. There's some Leo energy with that Sun card, and there's that Page of Cups again. So the Page of Cups is this energy of like slippery situation, hard time getting your footing. So I feel like, again, this is just confirmation that divine feminine is telling divine masculine through the heart space that if you feel like you're struggling at this time, connecting with your soul tribe, soul family, that type of thing could definitely bring you some peace of mind at this time. All right, rest and rejuvenation is the masculine energy's higher self lesson at this time. It means that the masculine is learning how to sit, right? How to sit with it type of energy. I don't feel like they like it very much. All right, 6 of Wands is here. 6 of Wands does say they will be victorious. 2 of Pentacles is here. This is going to help you find the discipline that you need, find that grounding, that firm foundation that you need to go forward. Look at that, to follow your purpose. Remember, very first card out for the masculine. I love this. Scorpio energy, so strong for the masculine side. King of Wands is on the bottom. This is about courage. I almost said safety. I don't know why. But it is about courage to take passionate action. All right. Now we're going to look at the feminine, head, heart, and higher self. So feminine energies, thoughts, collective thoughts for the month of February. We have the appreciation card coming out. It could mean a couple of things. It could mean that you're learning how to alchemize, which I believe is what's happening for Divine Feminine. You're also learning the importance of staying focused on the positive, especially when you're surrounded by so much heavy energy. In the heart space, we have Angel of Strength, so strong communication between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine definitely suggesting to Divine Masculine that he reconnects with his soul tribe, soul family, and the Divine Masculine sending the Divine Feminine inner strength. Happy Family is going to be the spiritual higher self lesson for Divine Feminine at this time. It does give me that energy of 10 of Cups, which we saw for the Divine Masculine earlier, which is happy home, happy family. In the Energy Oracle, this is more about emotional contentment, doing the things that make you happy on an everyday basis. For the feminine, this has a lot to do with your immediate family, those that are closest to you. Envy is going to be on the bottom. Unfortunately, I do feel that that is the energy for the Divine Feminine. A lot of times when I see this card, I feel like it's someone who's envious of you or sees that you have something that they want, type of thing. Unfortunately, for the Divine Feminine in the month of February, I do not see this as being someone else's energy. I definitely see this as your energy. Be cautious that you're not in that victim consciousness, woe me type of energy. Is being chosen and awakened at this time challenging? Absolutely. Focus on what's positive through your spiritual awakening. Focus on your healing, on your alignment, on the self-control that you have after awakening and before awakening, right? Like, remember what it was like before your awakening. That's what this appreciation card is in the headspace. Remember what your life was like when life was happening to you before you started creating your life today, right? That's what's going to help you through the month of February. All right, let's start with appreciation for Divine Feminine. The Fool card, taking a leap of faith, a brand new start, a brand new beginning. Remember I said, remember what your life was like before spiritual awakening when life was happening to you, and remember what your life is like after spiritual awakening when you create the life that you're experiencing today. We have the Seven of Cups. There's that Seven of Cups that you see with all the clouds. It's about your choices and your options. And we have the Chariot again, which is again that energy of Cancer energy. The victory is already yours. The win is already yours. Angel of Strength, I do feel, is communication from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. I do feel that it is like strong masculine strength being sent to the feminine in a moment of maybe vulnerability or a moment of overwhelm for the feminine energy. Nine of Wands comes out, so big confirmation there because it's the card that says perseverance, keep pushing. In my own spiritual awakening journey, I did have a counterpart energy that awakened me. And one of the things that we used to just kind of say back and forth to motivate or inspire the other was keep pushing. So that's definitely going to be the energy and what is needed for the month of February. We do have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is going to be about manifestation. And we do have the Two of Cups coming out. Two of Cups is about equal effort. It's interesting, Divine Feminine. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was telling her, I said, you know, the cards, the tarot cards, all have a meaning. Like, you can buy tarot and then buy the book, and the book will tell you that Two of Cups has a specific meaning, right? And that specific meaning is equal effort. So the Two of Cups is also could be considered as partnership. You see the two people coming together. A lot of people like to say that the Two of Cups is soulmate energy. I'm sure we've all heard that before. But here's the thing. When I'm giving someone a reading, Spirit doesn't tell me that this is like someone coming to some soulmate coming out of the sky and gonna, you know, land in your living room. Like, that's not the message that I get. Whenever someone's looking for like soulmate energy or partnership energy, or they're trying to manifest a soulmate or a partnership, whenever I see Two of Cups, it's Spirit saying that you need to put the equal effort. So it's like the universe doesn't create without you. You co-create with the universe. So stop waiting for something to fall out of the sky. Do what you have to do in order to put in that equal effort to co-create with Spirit, the universe, whatever label you have to put there. All right. I feel like there's something about trying to manifest or bring something in that has to do with soulmate, equal effort. And I do feel that the message is from Divine Masculine to keep pushing or keep persevering. But I feel like the message from Spirit is you have just as much work to do. All right, Happy Family coming out for the Higher Self lesson for Divine Feminine. Big confirmation with the Ten of Pentacles, because remember I said I feel like this is about emotional contentment, what makes you happy. For the feminine, it does have to do a lot with the home situation, or like who they're closest with, right? The people they're most intimate with, inner circle, that type of thing. Ten of Pentacles is like getting everything you want, accomplishments. The Four of Wands comes out. Four of Wands is firm foundation. 1111. It is strong manifestation energy. And look at this. Nine of Pentacles is coming out. So Divine Feminine, I feel like if I'm talking to you and you relate, or like the message is pulling at your heartstrings and you're like, yes, this is me. This is what's happening, yada, yada. You've been on your own. You've been having to stand on your own. Spirit's been teaching us about financial independence. I know that was like all of 2025 for me. I had to learn how to pay my own bills. It was super crazy to be learning at 46 years old. But it was what it was, right? And I am currently building a more firm foundation, and I am currently learning to manifest what it is that I want and what it is that makes me happy. That's going to be the spiritual lesson or the higher self lesson for Divine Feminine in the month of February. Get ready to start putting yourself first. We're always pouring from our cup until we're depleted, because we're pouring for those that we love. Get ready in the month of February to learn the importance of pouring in your own cup. Six of Cups is going to be on the bottom. This is reunion energy. The Chariot was a card that came out for both sides. It's Cancer energy. It says the victory is already yours. The Fool came out. It's Aries energy. So strong Aries, strong Scorpio, strong Cancer energy. All right. I am using the OGs tonight, guys. So if you know, you know. I'm going to pull 3 from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. Your Eyes Haunt Me comes out all on its own. I'll Try comes out, Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. Only those who care about you can hear you when you're quiet. Strong telepathy energy here. One more I'm hearing. It's nice to hear or talk to a friend. Strong telepathy coming from Divine Masculine. For many of you, it's very possible that you are manifesting reunion. Very possible. Look at that Scorpio energy. All right, let's do Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine. Can you just give me the answer? I can't fake it anymore. You have to be aggressive, go after it. I have every right to be disappointed, and you shouldn't have to guess. On the bottom, they have to recognize your beauty or they need to move on. Strong energy of clearing out the inner circle for divine feminine. Again, strong energy of some envy, some victim consciousness. Why does this have to be so hard for me? The strongest thing that's going to be beneficial or helpful for divine feminine in the month of February is definitely going to be the alchemy, the appreciation. Look at what you have, what you've gained from your journey, and put all your focus and all your energy in that. All right. I am going to use the Tree of Life Oracle for guidance to wrap it up. I think for many of us, the procrastination is the action is communication. I do feel like there is something with that Page of Cups and forgiveness as well. The fallen tree comes out first. The forest on the bottom. It is that card that says being able to see the forest through the trees. Let's look at the fallen card. So it's going to be number 17, and it's on page 53. Death and renewal. How many times did we see that Scorpio energy? Death and renewal. Acceptance, forbearance, grace, ritual, exposure of truths, tragedy, shock, misery, great loss, bitterness. You're on notice that a big cycle has ended or is ending. Did you hear that? On notice that a big cycle has ended or is ending. And a big new one is beginning. I love when Spirit wraps up the entire reading in one guidance card every single time. Tree of Life Fallen urges you to stand in strength. Often in life, something signals an end, perhaps even a drastic or momentous event. You are now in or may soon be part of a shift that seems to have altered the universe. Do not lose hope or faith in all that good life has to offer at this time. Forbearance and stealth will see you through. What makes you strong is your ability to feel the impact and go with it. Grieve and allow sorrow to wash through you. What was mighty and tall has now come down, and an enormous loss may feel overwhelming. But even in death, we welcome the new perspectives and stark clarity we gain. When a great tree falls, it can be sudden or unexpected. This is a time for us to mourn and feel the loss of what once was. Let your memories bring you the range of emotion you may feel in your suffering. You may be moved to write poetry or record your feelings and thoughts in a journal, or chant or sing. You may be moved to create art or to begin a new project that you can pour your heart into. Grief heals over time, and through our creative will, new life emerges. All is not lost. It is natural to feel anger and bitterness over loss. Misery and tragedy of any kind deserve such a response. Yet anger can become a destructive force, only adding to the misery. Express feelings in the most constructive way possible and be a part of a brave and wonderful new phase of life. At the same time, be careful not to idolize or over sentimentalize the past, even as you acknowledge the emotions that come with grief. The stages of grief include shock and denial, then anger, and lastly, acceptance. This is part of the process of rebirth for you in your awareness of self in relation to others and the world around you. Big changes have come, and when you face them with courage, you see that you are still standing, living, and capable of thriving. Do not allow explosive and unexpected change or the end of situations to disable you. Certainly not for long. Recover and repair. Clear up the pathways or leap over the obstacles and walk on. Renewal is yours now. Tree of Life Fallen card is a sign that you possess a brave and resolute heart. All the good is coming. Wow. If you followed the reading from the beginning, Spirit literally wrapped up the entire reading. Every single message that I gave for every card came out in the one guidance card from Tree of Life Oracle. Absolutely beautiful reading. Is it going to be a challenging month? Absolutely. I'm not going to come out here and lie to you and tell you that it's going to be peaches and cream. But at this point, we've learned so much through our spiritual awakening, and we have so many new tools to help us not only overcome, but achieve, right? All right, guys, that's going to be your collective. I hope it was helpful. Let me know. Now is the time, guys. Let me know in the chat who is interested in an energy reading. I'm going to clean up really quickly. I'm only going to pick a few. I'm not going to stay on too long, guys. But I am going to offer just quick masculine and feminine energy readings. I do want to point out, I don't know if Vanessa has said anything, but I have a note here from Spirit. Vanessa goes first. All right. And again, guys, I'm just doing quick energy, masculine, feminine, and your current spiritual lesson. So much Scorpio energy tonight. I'm used to the Cancer. I guess I'm used to the Scorpio energy too. And I'm used to the Aries energy, but definitely really strong. Divine Timing says, my chart has a lot of yang in it. Okay. I'm actually going to use tarot. All right, Vanessa, here we go. I'm going to start with your masculine energy first. Guys, please remember, we all have masculine and feminine energies. I always say your masculine energy is what makes you lock your doors at night. It's that protect and provide energy. And then your feminine energy is your more nurturing self-care energy. It's what makes us wash our hair. We all lock our doors. We all wash our hair. Everyone has that, regardless of how you see yourself. We all have masculine and feminine energies, right? All right, so King of Pentacles. Right now, your masculine energy is stepping up to the plate, taking responsibility. This could also be about accountability as well. Strong Capricorn energy there. All right, for the feminine energy, we have the Star, strong Aquarius energy. This is very much bright hope for the future. This is a clean slate. This is about forgiveness, but it's about you forgiving yourself. I think something for you in the month of February is you could see the Aquarius, the bright hope for the future is giving me that it's more than just clean slate. It's like you're forgiving yourself for Maybe you feel like you made like mistakes in your past, but you're starting to see that those weren't mistakes. They were just lessons that you had to learn, type of thing. There's something about that coming out for your feminine energy. All right, your bridging energy. We do have the Empress. This is about fertility. It's about creation. It's about bringing something to fruition. It's like you're no longer talking about it. Now you're doing it, type of thing. Bottom of the deck is going to be King of Cups. So that is going to be some accountability. There's also something about emotional control as well. And it is my clue card for divine masculine energy. All right, I'm going to pull a guidance card. Look at that. You got the cycles card. We saw that for divine masculine energy, right? That was the card that divine masculine got for the collective. Inner child is on the bottom. There is definitely strong forgiveness, inner forgiveness, self-forgiveness happening in the month of February. All right, I hope that was helpful. Who's next? Let me know in the chat, guys, in the chat. Judy Williams. Judy Williams on Facebook. Judy Williams. Love the last name. There's a lot of Williams in my life for sure. Thank you, Thomas Mann. All right, here we go. Trying to come out a little sideways. Masculine energy has 5 of Cups. You've experienced some type of deep loss. 5 of Cups is a no joke card. Here's what I'm going to say. That appreciation card, I don't know if you were here to watch the collective, Judy Williams. I forgot to click on who I'm talking to. All right, that appreciation card talks about alchemy, and it talks about, yes, you go through challenging times and you experience loss, but it's like what you're supposed to do with all of that. Like you're supposed to, there's always something that you gain in any experience, right? Even if you experience a loss, there's going to be something that you gain from that. And the easiest way to explain this is with this 5 of Cups card. It's painful. Just want to say, whatever your loss is painful. It's hard for me to touch the card, which is normal. I'm not a big fan of 5 of Cups, but it seems extra painful. Anyway, the thing you notice with 5 of Cups is that they're looking at the 3 spilt cups, right? So in other words, you've experienced a loss, and it's really hard for you to take your eyes away from that loss. It's like it's challenging. Whatever this loss is, it's so extreme that it's like it's almost become a part of you now. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. The reason that there's 2 cups on every 5 of Cups card that you see, the reason that there's 2 cups that are always still standing up is because there's going to be something that you gained from this energy, from this experience. So something about it makes you smarter, wiser, braver, all these things, you see? And let's just say, like, please don't take this the wrong way. I feel like I'm, help me out, Spirit. All right, so let's say that you've experienced some type of like deep personal loss, like you've lost a loved one, okay? And you're like, Rosa, what could I have gained from that? There's nothing I can gain from that. I've lost someone that I love deeply, and there's just nothing to gain. That's actually not a true statement. Ready? You've gained a new guardian angel. You've gained a new spiritual ability, assistance, help, bonus. I don't know what the right word is here. And again, I'm not saying that any of this has happened. I'm just giving you some type of examples. So if you've experienced a type of great, deep inner loss, which that's what the 5 of Cups expresses, and you're struggling to like take your eyes away from it, like to remove yourself from the deep pain, focus on what you've gained from the situation, even if it's just memories, even if it's just the experience of love in that moment, whatever it is, focus on that. Because again, where your thoughts go, where your energy goes, right? Where your focus goes, energy flows. That's it. All right, I just want to point out that the Cups is a water sign, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I imagine the Scorpio in the reading was very profound for you. All right, let's look at your feminine energy next. The star comes out, Aquarius energy. So we've seen this energy earlier with Vanessa, interesting enough, in the very same position, the feminine energy. It does feel like the feminine is always a little bit ahead of the masculine. It does feel like the feminine is making some serious breakthroughs, and that's just collective with everyone in general. But for you, whatever the breakthrough is going to be, is like some type of new offer, some type of, again, clean slate, some type of hope for your future. There's definitely a strong loss, and there's like, I lost hope. And it's like, now I'm working on taking care of me, refilling my cup, self-care, replenishment, that type of thing, so I can find new hope. Or um, I feel like there's something that you're really attached to, that you're like, I'm always going to carry that with me. And that's fine. That's okay too. No one's saying like, leave whatever this energy is behind, carry it with you. Just don't allow the sadness of it to pull you down. I hope that makes sense. All right. Bridging energy. We do have 5 of swords. So I do feel like the world is on the bottom. You have a really big opportunity right now to turn this around, right? You have a really big opportunity to break away from something in your past that is really, really sad and very like pulling you down into lower vibrational energy. 5 of swords is, it does talk about like communication. It does talk about disagreements and arguments. Something could have happened as well previously, like before something ended. Okay, here's the message. Ready? Clear the mind. Clear the mind. Give yourself self-care and forms that will help you clear the mind. That could be meditation, that could be journaling, that could be all kinds of things. Writing, clear the mind. That's what's going to help you be able to find like the alchemy, the positive of the loss. All right, I'm going to pull a Heal Yourself reading card. Self-sabotage. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. You can choose to stay focused on this, or you can turn around and see what you have left, what you can alchemize from the situation, what can help you move forward. All right. I hope that was helpful. All right, let's do one more. One more. Tiona on Facebook. Tiona on Facebook. Say hi to me in the comments. Judy Williams says, yes, I'm a Cancer. Love it. All right, Tiona on Facebook. And guys, don't forget, tomorrow night, all 12 signs. We are looking at this week, February 1st through the 7th. We do have that Leo full moon on the 1st. We talked all about Leo full moon last night. If you guys missed that information, you can find it over on my YouTube channel under the live tab. If you can catch it live, join me. If you can't, please remember I will put the timestamps in the description box immediately following the live. Perfect. Thank you. Divine timing. Don't let me forget you. All right. Don't let me forget divine timing, guys. Tiona will wrap it up with divine timing. All right, first thing is the cards feel super heavy. So something's weighing on you. It is drawing a lot of energy. It's drawing a lot of power from you, whatever it is. I mean, it feels solid, heavy, rock, concrete. All right, let's start with your masculine energy, please. We have the Strength card, Leo energy. Feminine energy, we have Two of Wands. This is what's weighing heavy on you. There's some decision you need to make. So Two of Wands can be patience. Like you need to be patient while you're waiting for something. But for me, a lot of times, Two of Wands is expectations. You have high expectations that something is going to be a specific way, but it doesn't just because you believe that or you think that doesn't make it true. Like there could be a whole other option that you're not even taking into consideration because you think it has to be this way. So whatever that is, weighing heavy. I want to point out that the Strength card came out in your masculine energy. So it's almost like your masculine is sending you strength, just like the collective energy. All right, let's look at your bridging energy. The High Priestess comes out. There's something about an inner knowing. Inner knowing. Again, something is weighing heavy on you. Some type of inner knowing that you have, but it's a belief. It's something you're believing. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. The Magician is on the bottom. As above, so below. As within, so without. And it's also giving energy of the tables are turning. Or maybe you're flipping the tables. All right, Heal Yourself reading card. We have the Alchemy coming out. Number 25, Alchemy. Is shit burning down all around you? Yes, absolutely. Are you walking away with something magical and powerful? Yes, absolutely. All right, I hope that was helpful. All right, Divine Timing, last one. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. All right, let's wrap it up. Last one. I'm going to stick with Llewellyn. Divine Timing, let's look at your masculine energy. We have the Chariot coming out. That's that Cancer energy that we saw in the collective. It does say that the victory is already yours. The message for you is use all the elements. Call in your fire, water, earth, air. Was it you that made the comment, Divine Timing, that you had more yin in your chart than yang, something like that? Use the totality of what you have available to you. I do see the 10 of Cups coming out for your feminine energy. This is going to be a happy home, happy family. This is about emotional contentment right now. Your feminine energy is very focused on what makes her happy. And that's, again, really collective for all of us. It came out in the collective. I do see Page of Swords. Look at this. Someone's watching but fearful to communicate. It is about higher learning. There is something else that you're learning or need to learn more about. It could have something to do with communication between your masculine and your feminine. The sun is on the bottom. Strong Leo energy. The Leo full moon could give you some type of communication when it comes to happy home, happy family that maybe you didn't see coming. All right, let's pull a Heal Yourself reading card. The Chariot, again, Cancer energy. All right, I'm going to pick the Have Faith, number 22. This is the card that talks about faith over fear. Faith over fear. Anytime you start to feel like you're getting anxious, start building up that faith, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there. Hope that was helpful. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you so very much. I will be here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, and I'm going to read for all 12 signs for the week of February 1st through the 7th. So come back and join me tomorrow night. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good night, everyone.